Hi, the Paranormal. The event I'm about to tell you happened in 1999. It was the last year of high school, and a group of friends and I would cut school and go explore the surrounding areas. We would go to Mount Madonna, Garden and Eden in Santa Cruz, Hell's Hole in UCSC, even the radio antenna on Loma Prieta. On some of these explorations, we would come across strange and creepy things such as an incomplete house in the middle of the woods with no road to it, or abandoned campsites. The incident I'm about to tell you occurred on Mount Madonna. During one of our outings, I came across a sign that the old Henry Miller Mansion remains in Mount Madonna County Park. I remember it saying something about an old road used by travelers going from Gilroy to Watsonville back in the 1800s. 1 week later, after some research, we found the road. It was said that the road had bad vibes and some people lost their lives on that road. There was a spot where natives would hold ceremonies. The day came where 7 of my friends crammed in my S10 Blazers and we headed up the mountain. We hurried because it was late afternoon and we didn't want to get caught after dark. The road entrance was blocked by a huge tree. You would miss the road if you didn't pay attention. We pulled up behind the tree and decided to walk the old dirt road. The road is a narrow dirt road with a steep hill on one side and a slight downward slope on the other, with redwood trees scattered about, similar to the view on 152. The group was never scared to explore, but on this day, we felt a slight hesitation from everyone. We walked for what felt like an hour because everyone was quiet and listening to their surroundings. There was sounds like animals running around and bumping, as if someone was hitting a tree. This put us on alert, as you can imagine. The deeper we went on, the road got darker. The tree canopy was thick, and although there was still plenty of sunlight, only a few streaks of sunlight broke through the canopy. As we came around the curve on the road, we saw a pile of huge rocks about 30 feet from the roadside. They looked so out of place among the scattered redwoods. We hiked down the rocks cautiously and they gave out a weird vibe. As we walked around the rock, we noticed that there was a narrow passage between 2 huge rocks about 20 feet tall. Some of us climbed them and found stacked stones on top of them. Others removed moss and found symbols carved into the rock. I caught a bluish light at the corner of my eye a few times, and when I turned, it was gone. One of my other friends also saw the blue light. The light was visible, especially because it was getting dark. We decided to leave because we didn't bring any flashlights. Walking back to the truck was creepy as fuck. We all heard dry leaves cracking under the footsteps of someone following us closely. There was still enough light to see around us about 20 feet. We didn't see anyone. We would walk and the footsteps would start again, then we stopped and we would hear 2 more steps after we stopped. Everyone was trying to be cool and pretend they weren't freaked out, but we all knew as we got closer to the truck, it got darker. It looked like a black fog took us in, and all we could see was a few feet in front of us. We started picking up the pace because something didn't feel right. Finally, we saw the truck and felt relieved. I was the driver and jumped in right away, turned the truck on. Everyone else was getting in, but had to wait for a few friends to jump in the cargo space. The rear driver passenger door was open as I checked my side mirror to see if everyone was in. All of a sudden, I hear my friend yell, "Pull me in," repeatedly. She wasn't the type to yell out of nowhere. I turned and looked back to see what was going on. I saw her hanging on from the truck as if something was pulling her legs back. She was parallel to the road. My friends grabbed her and tried pulling her in. He was struggling even though he was the biggest guy in the group. I looked to see what was pulling her, but all I saw was the dark road illuminated by the dim dome lights from my truck. My other friend helped, and together they were able to pull her in and shut the door. I shifted in the gear and got out of there as quickly as I could. My friends asked her if she saw what was pulling her. All she was doing was swaying side to side. The friends sitting in the cargo space looked out the window but didn't see anything, they said. Then out of nowhere, she began screaming and swinging her arms violently, yelling something I don't remember. The guy sitting next to her had to hold her down because she was getting too wild and began kicking toward the front. She was like this coming down the mountain and began to calm down the further we got away from the location. I remember them saying she was so strong. When we got back into town, we asked her why she was acting like that. She said she couldn't remember anything, and we told her what had happened. She said all she remembers was stepping inside the truck. We were all tripping about the incident. That was the last time we ever went to that site. Today I asked my friends who were there that day if they still find that incident strange. I think she may have had an angry possession. Well, That's my paranormal incident. Thank you, Anonymous Wildcat.